Welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. We're going to do Challenge 4, Darkness Falls. This is one of the 2 challenges that have been unlocked due to us unlocking It Lives. Additionally, you also need to unlock Eve because it's an Eve challenge too. But look at that, we have actually decent stats and weapons in order to do this challenge. And we have 2 new items that we have yet to unlock in the main game. First of all, we have the Razor Blade. You use it in order to remove a full heart away from you in order to increase your damage for 1 room. And overall, it's not an item that I'm fond of, but it has its uses into this challenge. And finally, we have the Sacrificial Dagger. It's an orbital familiar that just destroys the hell out of any enemy you put it in contact with. All in all, it's a pretty good familiar, and compared to the original Binding of Isaac, this one will also block enemy shots, so all in all, it's a great item. Also, to further ease the challenge a little bit more, you also start with Dark Matter as well as the Pentagram, which means that right off the bat, you start with pretty good damage. So the moment that we're gonna turn into a demon, we're pretty much gonna be set for this entire challenge because we're gonna be dealing a lot of damage. Hell, even right now, we're pretty competent as a character right now, because the 2 damage boosting items that we get give us damage which is higher than normal. But since it's a challenge, you can already tell that in order to make this difficult, you have no treasure room as par on the course for pretty much every challenge in the game. Also, I'm not picking up this soul heart because what I'm going to do is use a razor blade here in order to remove a full heart as well as turn into a demon, and once this fight will be over, I'm going to go back in order to get the soul heart. If I did pick up the soul heart immediately, I could not have done that. Or at least I would have needed to use a razor blade twice in order to get to demon form. And finally, well, I would have got only 1 heart instead of having this soul heart in spare for the next level, as well as keeping my demon form. Sometimes the orders in which you pick up items will matter because you will want to have certain hearts whenever you'll be doing this challenge, and also, let's hear it for spiders, it can phase right through rocks. That's something that the original game did not handle very well, and this game doesn't do it any differently. It still handles spider movement really badly. Oh, and here's for a card that we're never gonna use, because we're not going to refill our hearts. If anything, we're going to remove our hearts at some point in order to permanently stay a demon, so that this entire challenge will be a piece of cake. So from now on, it's vital that I dodge every red heart that I can find, because otherwise I'm just going to make things harder, because it's gonna be pretty difficult to get rid of my health without getting rid of my soul hearts all at once. Oh, here's a really nasty boss. It's the Black Widow, and it's well deserving of this title. This is by far the hardest of the alternate widows that you can have. It has this 6-way shot that will shoot at you, but the real threat is that it can spawn a shitload of these big spiders. Normally it's its alternate version which will do that, the Rich, but yeah, now, oh, okay, I'm gonna take a risk, and hopefully I will have devil items that will make it worth my while. And what do you know, we have it indeed. We have the Pact, and might as well take the Headless Baby too, because we're not gonna have any hearts anymore, so therefore, demon form forever. Who knows why I'm not even using my 2 of Heart card, because it's not gonna do anything anymore, but yeah, we might as well just keep it until we get something better. Yeah, look at Eve, we're doing really good damage. Normally, when you play as Isaac, these skeleton dudes take like 5 shots, and now we can kill them with only 2. Honestly, as long as we keep playing in a decent manner, this is a good enough loadout to win this entire challenge. Which, by the way, will go even further than the wound. It's a super secret, but that's pretty much the reason why Ow, I got a heart. Here's hoping that I can get rid of it, even though this one doesn't really do anything in order to hinder me, because at least Eve will remain in demon form with a full red heart, as opposed to the other characters that need to be at half a red heart in order for that to happen. Also, I love how come the little mini thing, it just happens to be a bigger and more threatening enemy than the hollow itself. It's supposed to be a boss, and yet the regular enemy is a more threatening enemy, for crying out loud. And I believe it's time to go to the shop, because we have infinite keys and we're gonna have all of the money that we need. Yeah, too bad that we didn't really get anything good, but I did get something valuable out of this chest, and it's the Stars card, because what we're going to do here is that whenever we'll get to the boss rush, if we get any interesting items there, we're going to be able to use the card, and then we're just going to bypass the entire boss rush while still getting an item for free. Because remember, it's completely worthless to do the boss rush in its entirety during a challenge, because it's not gonna register as anything, because you cannot get any kind of achievements or unlock in a challenge except for the item that you get. Also, hello the Hunt. We haven't seen you all that much, but one of these days we're going to fight you proper. So the only thing this entire thing rides on right now is that if I manage to keep my card during the entire time, because as easily distracted as I am, you can be sure that one of these moments I'm just going to pick up some other item and I'm going to forget my Stars card altogether. So I'm hoping this is not gonna happen, but let's count ourselves. Every single time that we're going to pick up a new item, we're just going to see if I'm gonna remember to switch to the Stars. Nope, we're not gonna get any more health, it's totally useless, and even then I'm still having one red heart and I still have at least 2 other floors, or even 3, where I can get life expanding items, so if I get devil deals I'm still going to be properly served. And yeah, we really haven't used our Razor Blade since a long time. And well, we're not going to use it anymore because it's just going to remove all of our soul hearts. Also, holy shit, this room is from hell. Yeah, these rooms are always really hard to get through without getting hit, and no matter how well equipped you are, you're usually going to take at least 1 hit or 2 whenever you'll do those. Also, normally, you're never really supposed to see those enemies that shoot brimstone lasers at you. Usually it's the one that shoot chubs at you, but sometimes they can just get overridden by a laser shooting guy. So sometimes you will still get to see them into the caves or the not the necropolis, but the catacombs. I always get mixed up between the two. We might as well pick up Guppy's tail, because it's not as if we have anything better to do with our keys except to open gold chests, so it's usually always worth it to pick it up in a challenge or whenever you're late in a playthrough and you don't really have that much use for your keys anymore. But yeah, Razor Blade is generally only useful if you have a whole lot of red hearts, and well, it could be a way to play the character, but honestly I don't think it will be that viable unless you also have Goathead, because that probably means that by stocking yourself full of red hearts, what is likely going to happen is that you're going to get hit all of the time, you're not gonna have any devil room, and therefore you're not going to be any more powerful. I usually prefer to just have a shitload of blue hearts instead and not get it at all. Also, these rooms really suck. I hate the little Mask of Infamy so much because they have a lot of health, and finally their little head is really hard to avoid. I think it's way harder to avoid than it should be, especially considering some of the room layouts that you can get these enemies in, where you'll have absolutely no room to dodge, and where you'll have this giant mask just going toward your face at like 1,000,000 of miles per hour. Oh, I'm gonna use this High Priestess card on a very gratuitous way because I unfortunately cannot keep it with me. And besides, I will not be able to use it against Mom anyway because she's just going to stomp you instead. Okay, I don't think that spending my money on the bomb is a good idea, so I'm just going to keep at least enough money in order to buy an item from the store. And I got nothing. And besides, most of the time whenever you deal with bombs, they usually tend to give you breakfast, but it's worth dealing with them regardless, just in the likelihood that you get a treasure map, the compass, or some similarly useful item. Or you can get the butter bean, or however that item was called, which was completely worthless. So yeah, I was complaining about Mask of Infamy earlier, so here he is. But at least Headless Baby can be somewhat of use because despite the appearances, Mask of Infamy is not a flying enemy, so it will get hurt by the creep that you're laying on the floor. Also, hooray for shooting really fast. And hooray because this is gonna be a win-win fight. Either I get the lump of coal, which will enhance my damage, or I get Krampus Head, which will be an item that I will use unlike the Razor Blade. You gotta live on the razor blade! Wait, that's not even how the song goes, but truth be told, I only remember that the song has the word Razor's Edge on it. Yep, you see, we already rentabilize our Krampus Head ability here. Whereas we will never use a Razor Blade, even if it was the only item that was stuck on a desert island. Oh boy, two Wow, that's a shitty arcade? What the hell is this? Only one blood-donating machine? Is that really the extent of all the entertainment you want to give to your clientele? That's kind of fucked up. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw that at some other time, but at least there was another machine in the room. But wow, that's a new low. Okay, on one hand, I probably could get rid of my last red heart, but honestly, getting missing page 2 for it is kind of a shitty trade-off because it's honestly not a very good item, and I'm pretty sure that you need at least one red heart for it to work. So I'm gonna hold on to it and hope that I get a devil room whenever I'll finish the Womb 1. Also, I swear that despite never encountering Loki as a regular boss most of the time, it's one of the boss encounters that you'll see the most in this game, just because he appears like almost all of the time into challenge rooms like this one, and even in the regular challenge rooms, as soon as you get to the womb and beyond, he'll appear all of the time. Also, we're gonna get Bob's Brain because why not? I'm inclined to give it even more of a chance the more that we're going to play. Also, nah, it's not worth it to go back to the blood donation machine just in order to get one coin. But yeah, when I'm talking about rooms where the Mask of Infamy is a bastard to deal with, 4 of these in the same room, especially with that many obstructions, it's just really cruel. Liberty Cap might be kind of a mixed bag because we're already having a really fast firing speed, but every once in a while we're going to get a compass out of it, so we might as well just keep it for the ride. Here's a card that we're going to consume immediately, and here we go, we're still having our stars card. I'm really impressed. I definitely would have thought that we would have ditched the card something like 2 floors ago, so maybe there's hope for me after all. The song of boredom as you wait for hands to drop on you. Okay, so do we want a shitload of cards or do we keep Krampus Head? Okay, I guess we're... Oh, what a useful card. Temperance. Oh, well, I guess... Okay, I guess we're... No! You're ditching your star card just at the last moment! Oh my goodness, okay, I knew it was gonna fuck up and I'm surprised that it happened because of Temperance. A card that I'm never gonna use because I only have 1 red heart! Are you kidding me? hey, instead of fighting Red Mom all of the time, I finally get to fight Blue Mom. She's always a bastard to deal with because of all of the enemies that come straight from the expansion of the original Ipecac, which are way worse enemies to deal with because it's not as if you want Greedheads to be an enemy that will appear in an infinite quantity as you're fighting a boss. Oh, and also, yeah, this would have been a perfect time to get stars because now we have the perfect item, Ipecac. One of my favorite items in the game because now our tears become pretty much a grenade launcher. We explode vomit tears of absolute chaos and, well, it's really powerful. Since that I pretty much abandoned my original plan because of idiocy, I'm gonna spare you the boss rush because, well, it went as easily as you'd think it did. So, yeah, that's how powerful Ipecac is. It fires explosive projectiles, it deals 40 additional damage to every single attack that you do. So, all in all, it's really powerful. And the best part about all of this is, by picking up Ipecac, it also removes the drawback from Bob's Brain, because whenever you have Ipecac, you're not gonna attack enemies when you're up close to them, so therefore, there's no chance that you will accidentally shoot Bob's Brain back into your own face, and that makes it awesome. Also, whenever you have bombs like this, it's also worth it to try to use the bombs in order to make the items be able to be collected just like this without spending any kind of hearts in order to walk through spikes. And we finally ditch our Temperance card. I mean, Strength is just going to give us an extra heart for an upcoming battle because it's not as if we need any damage boost anymore with Ipecac because it's that powerful, but hey, we might as well gain an extra point of damage for one move because why not? Yeah, I can't believe that in the original game this was an item that was unlocked right off the bat. I mean, just look at this. Almost every single room is cleared in only a matter of seconds. And because of our fast-firing speed, we're not gonna have any kind of trouble shooting a steady flow of bullets toward enemies. Also, thank you for donating me a key in return of spending 2 keys in order to get 1. Yeah, even umbilical cord probably will be a better item than Liberty Cap because it's not as if we're gonna have any need of the alternate mushroom abilities anymore. And, well, I don't really think we can even fire that fastly anymore, so we're just going to go with that. Also, the item that we picked up during the boss rush, I mean, the second one, it was Best Friend, and basically it's an item that I rarely ever pick up or use, but might as well just pick it up just to get a change of pace. It's pretty much the big cousin of Mr. Boom. Mr. Boom had a 2-room cooldown. This one, however, has a 3-room cooldown, but the good thing about it is it will attract other enemies, so it's usually easier to use it in a combat-oriented situation and get everyone to explode all at the same time. Also, holy shit, here's a boss that we rarely ever see. Whoops, it's already dead. I mean, we see it so often as a boss, like in the boss rush and everything, and as a mini-boss in some other rooms, but as its own boss in the room, it's really rare. And yeah, just look at how it went. But remember, even when you have Ipecac, there are still rooms like these ones that can be pretty tricky to deal with. So yeah, that was Best Friend. I hope you enjoyed the fireworks. But the fun thing about this entire thing is that if I had Dr. Boom or Mr. Boom, because I keep calling it Dr. Boom for some unknown reason. Oh, am I really? Oh, great job. But yeah, the big thing, oh, that would have been a perfect room for Best Friend. I would have laid the big bomb in the middle of the room, all of the flies would have been sucked toward it, and everything would have died in only one single glimpse of an eye. I I swear that I always pick the worst rooms in order to showcase some items at times, but to be fair, I never really use this item to begin with. I'm never a big bomb person to begin with, so that's why I usually just use bomb item whenever I feel like so. So here's it lives. It's the upgraded version of Mom's Art, but unfortunately we're never going to see how much upgraded it is because we're never really going to give it the time in order to spawn the tougher enemies. But yeah, this one will spawn bosses if you give it enough time or if you were too slow to fight it. So yeah, this challenge ends in Sheol. You have to defeat Satan in order to win this challenge, and that's why you have to unlock It Lives, in order for the permanent path toward the cathedral and Sheol to be unlocked. Oh, now we have the Magician. So how do you feel about having homing Ipecac shots? Okay, it's not as spectacular as you think it is, but hey, it's always funny for a laugh, and you probably could use it a little bit closer than you'd usually use your Ipecac attack, because then it will curve toward the enemies, and it will have some time in order to land away from your own face. So yeah, while we're in Sheol, honestly I don't really have anything to say about this place right now, so yeah, I'd have to apologize for the delay of this one update because, well, things have been really busy in terms of video game nowadays. We had Undertale, the Shovel Knight DLC, Mario Maker. All in all, we're pretty much swamped by a shitload of great games. And we're gonna have Afterbirth going during Halloween and all of this, so things are gonna get even better. So yeah, 2015, a great year for video games, I'd like to say. Also, yeah, I'm gonna pick up the left hand because, hey, whatever, we're just going to see if it can even give us anything good. So far, we got spiders and a big troll bomb. So far, that's pretty much on par of the course every single time that I take this item. Okay, these enemies, however, are fucking bastards and a half. I hate these enemies so much. They're borderline impossible to deal with, so I really hate them. It's like, try not getting hit by these enemies that have a homing laser that just randomly homes at you and you have no real clue how it's even going to work. Nah, it's bad. It's really bad. Also, this one room is definitely one of a kind. I kinda like this room even though it's kind of a pain to deal with. There's only 2 enemies and at least they don't move at all, so you have to draw them into attack and hope that you're not gonna get hit by all of the brimstone lasers. It can be very easy to get hit in this room whenever you don't know about it because you're just going to freak the hell out whenever you see this room and you're not gonna look for the safe spots where it can be. And yeah, by the way, the only time you can get this room is in Sheol. Sheol has a bunch of really interesting, unique room layouts, as in they're complete nightmare and bastards and a half, but hey, at least they're interesting. Alright Satan, I have a supply of steadily exploding tears in order to feed at your own face. Who needs Dr. Fetus whenever you've got medical misfires or whatever? I'm not sure how to call it, Ipecac, but it's an interesting thing. Oops, I missed my best friend quite a bit. I wanted it to explode inside the hoof, but I kind of fucked up. But hey, it would have been a good thing because best friend was able to sway away his entire hoof stomping thingy, so unlike using a regular bomb, it's way easier to put because he's gonna be attracted to it. And that's it, we're done with Darkness Falls. All in all, it's really not a hard challenge. It's just pretty long to do. So, we're gonna go back to a regular run. Whenever I recorded this, I wasn't sure who I was gonna play, but I can already tell you, our next playthrough will be done as Samson.